Hi all and welcome back. So in today's tutorial, we'll be looking at something very crucial. Okay, why it's crucial? Because we will discussing something around CMDB CI, and we know that CMDB CI is the core, or we can say heart of ServiceNow instance, your ServiceNow instance, right? Okay, so whenever it comes to service CMDB CI, it's really difficult to take decision, right? Okay, a small change on CMDB CI can make a big impact, right? That's why it's so crucial. The relationship, the identification, reconciliation things, the hierarchy, and so on and so forth, right? So now this particular module will help you to resolve all these things out. Okay, I'm not sure why people are not pretty aware about this, but this is the best ever thing you can think about ServiceNow CMDB CI. So in today's tutorial, we'll be diving into the CMDB CI Class Manager, a crucial tool within ServiceNow for managing configuration item classes effectively. Okay, so how can, without wasting further time, we will directly jump to the demo. So as you can see on my screen, this is my personal development instance, which is currently on the Washington release, and how to navigate to CMDB CI Class Manager. So if you go to the filter navigator and if you type CI class, so you will see under configurations, you will see CI Class Manager. If you click on it, so this particular page will come up. What exactly it's telling? It's like, welcome to CI Class Manager. Use the CI Class Manager to create a class, to update identification, reconciliation, rules, to display CI relationship, and to configure CMDB health setting. That means everything with respect to CI you can do over here. Okay. And if you click on it's insisting us to click on this particular. So let's click on it. So what it will do, it will open up the hierarchy of the CMDB CI. So if I just toggle this out, right? So we can see we have 2,787 classes across ServiceNow instance, right? This particular instance out. You can also add child classes directly from here if you want to do so. You can view the dashboard and also the list for the same. So what we'll do, we'll go to the hierarchy, and let's here you can see the hierarchy also. So for example, if I want to see for what, for cluster, so under cluster, which particular class comes? This all class comes. There is a firewall cluster. What comes in firewall cluster? We can see that also. Juniper firewall cluster and so on. So we can see the entire hierarchy, right? What comes under what, right? So let's look at some in use case. So if I look into what, if I type Linux, so let's look into the Linux server. So as soon as I click on the Linux server, I can come to know the hierarchy for the same. So I can see its configuration item is parent for hardware is parent for computer is parent for server, and under server we have Linux server. Okay, so first of all, the hierarchy is pretty clear from the start only. Okay, now if I click on it, you can also pin it out. So let me pin the Linux server. So if I pin this particular class out, so there's a pin icon over here. I can see it over here. So it's just like a favorite. You can pin any class on which you want to do the analysis. So if I click on Linux class, so you will see on the left hand side, you can see tons of modules over there, like class info. Under class info, we have basic information, attributes, identification, role, reconciliation, role to relationship, and there are some more. So we will look into that each and every aspect. Okay, what exactly it means and how exactly it will help you out. Okay, so let's get started from the start. Okay, if you click on hierarchy, it will route you to the hierarchy again. And if you want to see the hierarchy for the Linux server, you can see it over here. Okay, so this is the hierarchy which we just iterated 2 minutes back. So this is the exact hierarchy for the Linux server. So first and foremost thing is basic info. So what exactly is basic info? Basic information is the basic information with respect to this class. So here you can see display, and you can see all the fields which are there on the basic info, right? These fields are coming directly from CMDB CI. So these fields will be common across all the classes. Okay, there is no class specific fields over here. These are the base table classes fields which you can see. So it has display name, description if it's any, what is the class name, okay, what is the managed by group. Okay, if you have default product model, you can add that also. You can add icons also. So there are tons of icons over here, right? Okay, you can select any icon over here. So for example, router, right, and so on and so forth. Then it's extensible. You know, if we click this checkbox, that means this particular class can be parent to other class. Okay, so it can have child classes. Okay, So currently, if it's not there, so you can see there is no button over here, right? If I click over here and if I save this out, if I make it extensible, okay, so you can see add a child class option also. So you can create directly child class from here, okay. And then is a principal class. So it's like mark important classes as principal class. So it's just like a VIP on the user table. So this is all for the basic info thing. Now let's look into attributes. So attribute, what exactly attribute means? The only terms are different, okay. Over here, for instance, what was that? For instance, so if we go to attributes, so what is attribute in this particular table? The attributes includes all the fields on this particular table out, okay, whether it's derived from the parent or whether it's self-added fields, right? Okay, so you can see all the fields over here. So we can see around 116 fields on this particular table in Linux server. Now you can categorize it into two classes, okay, or two types. One is derived and added. So what is derived? Derived, and this particular, why I really like this model out, that every information is pretty clearly mentioned over here. If you go to all, it's clear that includes both derived and added attributes for the CI class. If you go to derived, is the attribute derived from the parent class. So whatever fields are there which are derived from the parent class will be seen over here. Out of 116, 150 are derived from parent, okay. And if we go to added, only one field, okay. This is with respect to the Linux server. So this is all about attributes. Now moving forward to identification and reconciliation rules. So we can see next two modules for identification and reconciliation rule. But before jumping into that, let's understand what exactly identification rule is, okay. So identification rule determines how incoming data is recognized as a unique configuration item in CMDB. This rule helps to provide duplicate entries, okay, by defining which attributes, like, for example, if we are talking about laptops, then it will be CI number, MAC address, and so on, okay, to uniquely identify a CI. So on if it's a server, then it may be IP address, okay. Let's look into one example. So imagine you are managing a database of company laptops, right? Each laptop is considered a CI in your CMDB. You could set an identification rule that uses laptop serial number to identify it. Here is how it works. So when laptop information comes into the system, okay, it may be from an employee reporting or new laptop or automated discovery tool, okay, the system checks the serial number. If the serial number matches one already in the CMDB, the system recognizes that this is an existing laptop. If there is no match, okay, the system treats it as a new laptop and creates a new CI record for it. So this is the identification rule. And if we jump into the identification rule, so we can see what all identification rules are there working on this particular Linux class. And you can also see, so you can see over here, that's from where exactly it's derived. So it's derived from hardware table, which is over here in the hierarchy. This is also this is serial number, hardware table, okay. All these are identification rule. If you want to create your own identification rule, you can click on or add, and you can create your own rule also, okay, perfectly for this particular. For example, if I want to do, what will be the unique ID for this? Is there any ID? So if I go model ID is, you can add anything out, okay. So you can add your identification rule also. Now moving on to the reconciliation rule. So what is reconciliation rule? So reconciliation rules are used where a CI can be discovered by or updated from multiple sources. These rules define how to reconcile or merge this information based on the reliability or priority of the source. So continuing with the laptop management scenario, suppose information about laptop can come from two sources: automated discovery tools, okay, and manual entry. You might decide that the automated discovery tool is generally more reliable because it is less prone to human errors, and you can set the reconciliation rule to that, okay. So this is how it works. So you prioritize data from the automated discovery tool over the manual entry. So for an instance, one field is getting updated from both the sources, okay. So at that particular point, this reconciliation rule will help to see on what particular information you have to give the priority. What is the source of truth for you? Okay. So if you click on add, so for instance, you can simply give the priority over here. So if it's import set, okay, I will give it as priority as 4 because I don't rely on this. Okay, what are the attributes? So you can select the attributes on which you want for what all attribute, why attributes, right? Because for some information, some source will be more reliable for the attributes, some other source maybe. So that's why we have this. Okay, so you can select the attribute for that particular uh, scenarios, and then you can define the condition that on what condition this particular rule should rule should um work. Okay, if you are not applying anything, that's also fine, then it will get applied for all. So I will just save this out, and this is how you can create a reconciliation rule also from here. Perfect, right? Then we have suggested relationship. So suggested relationship will create a list of relationship type to select from when building relationship for the classes. Okay, so you can see, you can expand it out and you can play around it. You can create a new relationship. So basically, if you have seen the CMDB CI, right, you have an option to create a relationship or to add the relationship. Whatever information you get over there, it's derived from this particular module only. Okay, so it's like who owns it, who virtualized it, IP connection depends on which particular thing. So Linux service depends on computer class. Okay, then who receives data from, and so on. So you can create new relationship also if required. Okay, so this is the this is what suggested relationship help us with. Okay, then we can see all relationship rules. Okay, what all relationship rules are there? Okay, so and what all attributes form into that. Okay, so it contains powers, depends on it depends on service members and so on and so forth. So you can get entire map, BSM map for the relationships over here. Perfect, right? Also, you can look into the health. So in health, you can see competency. Okay, what is the competency factor? What is the correctness factor? What are compliance and health inclusion rule also? Okay, so it's basically compliance is compliance. Correctness is like uh, what is the metrics for the correctness of the data on the record. Okay, competency talks about how much information is completed. For example, there are 100 fields on the form. Okay, 100 fields on the table. How much information is completed over that particular record and so on. So you can see all the health factors also for the same. If there are some metrics around that, it will be shown over here. And then again we have CI list. So what it will do, it will show all the CIs for this particular class. So we can see currently we have 4 CIs out there, and you can play around the CIs also, right? So this is how I use it out more frequently. Okay, whenever it comes to anything to be done on the CMDB CI. Okay, the first and foremost thing what I do is I navigate to this particular model, analyze the thing, and then only I proceed for the development. So this is all for today's tutorial. Okay, in today's tutorial we have seen very complex, very crucial component, which is CI Class Manager. I hope people will start using it out after this tutorial. I hope you like it out. If you like it out, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notified of my upcoming videos. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, and have a nice day. Thank you.